Clever Cacti. I'm Lisa Hoekstra, creator of Clever Cactus, and welcome to my first walkthrough video. Today I'd like to show you what's inside the Clever Cactus Planner. This is the original undated planner with all the wonderful sections. It's based on my own personal organizational and planning style. I've created a few guides for how I use my Clever Cactus Planner, which you can find on the website. I'll include the link in the video description so you can just pop down there and click on it later. For now, let's take a look inside this, my first ever planner creation. Voila! This is the planner, and I'm really happy with the way the cover turned out. It surpassed my expectations. It's a flexible cover with a thicker stock, so cardstock. So it was really important to me that the planner be ring bound and durable so that I could toss it in my bag and use it on the go, because as a freelancer I need to be able to work from anywhere, so I need my planner to be with me, and if it breaks I will cry. My year. First is your information, so you can get your planner back if you ever lose it. Let's hope you don't. Then the copyright page, and then next we've got the index. This page does what all good indexes do. It helps you quickly find the information you need in the book when you need it. So the start of each month is already paginated because those are all set sections. And so when you pick up the planner, you just put down the first month that you use it there and then all the subsequent months afterwards. The notes, you can put the topic and the page number so that if you take like a meeting note with a client or even at work, or you have an idea for something that you need to do next month or later or an undetermined time, you can put the note in the notes section and then you have it easily referenced. And then for the weeks, what I do is I put the month. So when I start a new month in my weeks section, I put the month here and the page number here, and then that way it's easier to figure out where I am in the year, because sometimes time is weird. Especially this year. So let's move on. So the next section is lists. There are 4 pages for your lists. And then next we've got the goals section. So this is the section that I designed specifically for my goals and that I think will help a lot of people achieve their goals. As the Clever Cactus website states, little, big, personal, professional, it doesn't matter. All goals are achievable and all goals are important. So you would write down your 3 goals for the year. I like to make these pretty big because I like to challenge myself to do too many things all at once. And then once you've written down kind of a summary of what you want to do and why, you would write down on the corresponding page your steps for how to achieve it. And then once a month or every so often, you would check back in on these pages and just see how you're doing and reassess your goals. The next section is the money pages. Now these are like the goals, only for money. So if you want to save for a house, or if you're paying back a loan, or if you have to pay taxes at the end of the year and you want to make sure you have enough money, you can put those things here, and then you can draw yourself a little grid or chart to measure your progress. Then next we have the year pages. So the design here is based on the Dutch bathroom calendars. If you've never seen a bathroom calendar before, then you are missing out, my friends. It is essentially just every month with lines and dates like this, and then you fill it out with people's birthdays and events. Actually, I'm just realizing it's not a bathroom calendar, it's a birthday calendar. Anyways, whatever it's called, that's what this is based on. So there's space in the planner for 12 months, as you can see there. And so you would put the month here and then the important days there. If there are only 30 days, you scratch off 31. If there's only 28 or 29, you scratch off whatever days you don't need. Important plans and major holidays, so that you can have a good sense at the beginning of the year what you're going to need to remember to do towards the end of the year, because sometimes I have great ideas in January and I forget about them by by June. And then at the end of the year, you can fill in this page, which is just thoughts about how your year went and notes for next year. I know that sometimes I put notes here throughout the year. So if I had a plan to go on a trip, say, and then a pandemic hit and I couldn't go on a trip, then I would put here to go on the trip next year. And then the following year I would put to do it the following year because the pandemic is still going on. All right, so the next is the clean and declutter page. So these are kind of reference pages. I actually realized that I don't use the clean page as much as I probably should, but the idea behind it is that you would put all of the things that you want to clean every day, once a week, once a month, once a year, and then at different frequencies throughout the year. And then that way you always have this easy to find reference for when things need to be cleaned. And then your declutter page. So what I like to do is I put each room of my house and any other places like my car or my storage unit, and then I put each part of that room or space. So the car, it would be like glove compartment, trunk, I don't know, other parts of cars. Oil, probably. That should probably be changed. Anyway, and then as you declutter them, you just check them off, and then you can keep a track of all of the bags and boxes that you donated. And it's just a really rewarding thing to do throughout the year because then you can just see how much you've donated, but also how much you've done. Because, yeah, you don't need to do it all at once. You can do it throughout the year. And finally, we've got the tracking page, aka when was the last time I. So I love this page, and I refer to it during every monthly review. I put things in there like change my toothbrush, rotate my mattress, and then I have the months across the top. That's what the month there is for. And I will always be able to tell when I last changed my toothbrush. And I'll know if I need to change it again real soon. So that's the front of book. And that is something that you would fill in at the beginning of the year and then check on once a month or at whatever frequency works best for you. My months. So the second section of the book is called My Months, and it is where all of the months spreads are, as you probably guessed from the title. So there are spreads for 12 whole months in this section, and each month has the exact same 6 pages in it. So I won't go through the whole section with you. I'll just go through 6 pages, and then you'll know that those repeat 12 times. So the month spreads consist of the title page, the money page, your tracking page, to-do list, and then your month in review. So those are the 6 pages. And so the first in the month spread is the title page. You can decorate it and make it your own, and then add your 3 goals for the month. The idea is that these will be steps or actions that'll help you move towards achieving your annual goals, which we saw here. So number 1 will be related to your first annual goal. Number 2 will be related to number 2, and so forth. And then you'll add your birthdays and events referring to your year pages. And then you'll kind of know what to expect from your month. Next up is money, aka bills. Pretty self-explanatory. You put your bill, you put your due date, you put your amount, and then as you pay them, you check this off. Or if you've only paid partially, you can put the amount that you paid in this column, and you'll know you have to go back and do something about it later. And then at the bottom, you've got a notes section for any important calculations you have to do, or if you invoice like me, then you can put your invoice numbers and the amounts and due dates there, and you'll be able to track it a lot easier. So on to the tracking page. So this is where you can track your daily habits and your hours spent sleeping, working, walking, exercising, or whatever it is that you want to track by hour. I fill this page in during my weekly reviews so I can check in on my habits and see what I need to work on, you know, in real time practically. So you put the date, the number, the day number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, anyways, at the top, and then you put your habits here. You put the day number at the top, and then your hours. I do 7 to 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to 6 a.m. there, so that I can track things the way I need to. Then the to-do list is pretty self-explanatory. I fill this out during my monthly review, and I use the when was the last time I and the cleaning and decluttering pages to build my lists, whether or not it's something that I absolutely have to do, or an event that's planned, or whatever, or something that I probably should do, or an event that's not planned that I want to organize. So those go in those 2 columns, and then during my weekly review, all I have to do is check this page to figure out what I have to do that week, as opposed to checking all those other pages. And yeah, I just find it streamlines my process a tiny wee bit. And the final part of the monthly spreads are really helpful if you're trying to live more mindfully or keep a happiness journal. You have room here for your smiles and thoughts. I like to write a note here at the end of each week about anything good that happened that week. And then at the end of the month, I fill in this second page. So like if I tried a new tactic to stay productive, I'll write that here. And if that tactic didn't work, I'd write that note here. And then under next month, I'd put any new tactics that I want to try. Or if I have to book an appointment or make a phone call that I hadn't done in the previous month, that would go here. And yes, so as you can see, there are 12 months, and there is no dates in this planner, which means that you can pick it up at any time during the year and use it for an entire year, and you don't need to waste any paper, which I think is awesome. My weeks. The My Weeks section is essentially a weekly agenda. There are 53 weekly spreads, all undated, as you can see by the lack of dates. The left page is your schedule with room for due dates and appointments and meetings, and then the right page is your to-do list. So at the beginning of each week, I write the date on the left-hand page, and I jot down my dates and appointments, and then I list out all my tasks for work under must do, and then I list all my chores and personal tasks under should do. And as the week progresses, I'll check things off, and I'll scratch things off, and I'll make notes here, and I'll fill up my planner, because that's what you do with a planner. And if a task is not accomplished, I will put a little arrow, and then I'll just move it to the next week. Or if something comes up and I don't have the spoons to deal with it, I'll put the note here, and then I'll know to deal with it next week. Yeah, the final little bit here is my inspiration, and I like to put a quote or a motto or a goal or something here that just inspires me that week to be my best self. And onto the, whoop, right, so there's 53 spreads here, and that should get you for a whole year once you've picked up the planner. And then at the back, we've got another cute little sketch. I call him my pineapple cactus, but that's not what he's called. He's a philo cactus. Yes. So we've got the final section, which is your My Notes section. My Notes. This is, as the name suggests, all note paper, blanked, lined note paper. There are 44 pages, and turns out that's not enough for me personally, so I'm designed a notebook, which will be released in November of this year, 2021. So for using this section, I write the note title at the top or in the middle of the page or wherever, and then I will flip to my index and put the title plus the page number, and then I'll be able to find my notes whenever I need them. Ta-da! So that was my walkthrough of the Clever Cactus Planner. This is the first version, and I have the second version at the print shop right now with the notebook, Chameleon Notebook, and I'm really excited to have those available in the shop. This one is still available in the shop and you can buy it now, and I will keep it in the shop until I decide to redesign it. But yeah, so you can pick it up at any time during the year and you can use it for a full 12 months. If you have any questions about the planner, you can post them in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and happy planning, all you clever cacti.